You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
All eyes on Capitol Hill today with dueling testimony between Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and the first woman to accuse him of sexual assault. And it is Thursday, so why not show you a video of a seal slapping a kayaker with an octopus? Folks, I can't even make this one up today, but we've made it to Thursday and we deserve this video. We'll show you what happened. We have those stories along with your Thursday forecast. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. It is Thursday morning. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. I'm Stephanie Webb. Ray Collins is off today. Is it a lather, rinse, repeat from yesterday, John Scalzi?
Yeah, kinda. We're looking at that sort of situation again today. We have an easterly wind flow. We have some slightly drier air in place. We have a high pressure ridge building in. And we'll see showers and thunderstorms later in the day. They'll come late in the afternoon into the evening hours, and maybe just not quite as few as we saw a few days ago. But they'll be around, and some of them will produce some heavy rainfall. Most of them will be in inland locations. Satellite view shows everything's pretty quiet in terms of any kind of large-scale cloud cover across the area, so lots of sunshine to start the day off. Temperatures running a degree or two cooler than they were 24 hours ago. Got some clear skies out there right now, some calmer winds, 77 degrees in Myakka, 75 in Sarasota, 77 in Bradenton. Top it off today, just about where we did yesterday, with about a 30% chance of showers starting around 3 p.m. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much. Just take a look outside and check your first alert traffic out there this morning. Pretty much quiet in Manatee County, not too much going on there. The roads are pretty clear, no real delays or bumps or anything. Then heading into Sarasota County, those roads are also looking pretty decent, pretty quiet out there so far. And then if you're heading a little bit farther south, 75 and 41, not looking too bad out there either. All quiet at 5:01. That's your first alert traffic. Well, Sarasota County drivers, you top the list. But it's not a good one. The county ranked top in the state for the most deadly traffic accidents. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us live right now at Bee Ridge and Beneva Road with what the sheriff office plans to do to cut down on that new statistic. Marla, what's the plan this morning?
Hey Stephanie, like you said, I am live here on Bee Ridge and Beneva Road, just one intersection that's seen a great deal of tragic, deadly accidents. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office tweeted that the county is top 25 in the state for the most deadly tragic accidents to happen within the state involving pedestrians and also bicyclists. From now until next May, the Sheriff's Office will be out to focus on 4 intersections in Sarasota County. Sheriff deputies will be doing so by conducting what they call a high visibility enforcement. That means sheriff deputies will be out more than usual at 4 intersections that's seen more fatal crashes than any other areas within the county. Now, their aim is to help lower the amount of deadly accidents and protecting those who are the most vulnerable on the road, which are pedestrians and bicyclists. Now, we want to give you a look at what those intersections are. They include the intersection that I'm live at on Bee Ridge and Beneva Road, Clark Road from Bronx Avenue to South Tamiami Trail, US 41 from Business US 41 to Jacaranda Boulevard, and Beneva Road and Bay Vista Streets. Now, keep in mind, law enforcement will be out in full force at all of these intersections, along with other areas across the county. Drivers are encouraged to make sure they use road rules, buckle up, and remember not to drive distracted if they don't want to take home a traffic citation. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you so much, Marla. Well, that high-stakes battle for the Supreme Court takes center stage on Capitol Hill later on today. Back-to-back testimonies from Brett Kavanaugh and the woman accusing him of sexual assault just hours away. ABC's Lana Zach has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Brett Kavanaugh and the first of his accusers, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, will be grilled today in an attempt to find the truth.
I don't think there's any question in my mind about it, but I'm willing to keep an open mind.
Blasey Ford submitting the results of her polygraph test, Kavanaugh submitting his calendar from 1982. Rachel Mitchell will be representing the Republican men on the committee.
I'm not interested in seeing Ms. Mitchell go Catwoman on anybody.
But there's another major development playing out, a third person coming forward, Julie Swetnick. She's held security clearances from Homeland Security, State, and the Treasury Departments, and she claims in a sworn affidavit that she saw Kavanaugh drink excessively and engage in abusive and physically aggressive behavior towards girls. And she alleges that Kavanaugh was present at a house party in 1982 when Swetnick says she herself was a victim of gang rape.
I mean, the details in this declaration are specific. They are shocking, but above all else, they are true.
ABC News has been unable to corroborate Swetnick's allegations. Judge Kavanaugh says this is ridiculous, and from the Twilight Zone, I don't know who this is, and this never happened. President Trump says he'll be watching.
Are they liars?
I can't tell you. I have to watch. I'm going to see what's said. So it's possible that they will be convincing.
Americans will decide today who to believe, but of the 3 named accusers, only Dr. Christine Blasey Ford will testify before the committee votes tomorrow. Reporting from the Senate, Lana Zach, ABC News.
Well, an arsonist who started a fire that killed 4 Seattle firefighters back in 1995 is set to be released early from prison later on today. Now, when he walks out of prison, Martin Pang will have only served about 20 years out of a 35-year sentence for 4 counts of first-degree manslaughter. So why the early release in this case? Well, he earned good time while behind bars. Now, he had originally been charged with murder, not manslaughter, and fled to Brazil. Now, surprisingly, that move was what got him the less serious charge of manslaughter.
He's charged with 4 counts of murder 1. Which would have resulted in the rest of his life in prison. When he fled to Brazil, Brazil has no felony murder rule, so they said that they wouldn't extradite him unless he was charged with the equivalent crime down there, which is a manslaughter.
Now, at the time, Pang said he set the fire in the first place at his family's warehouse in Seattle simply to collect the insurance money. Well, a fishing restriction has now been extended to next spring as the state tries to limit impacts from red tide all along the Gulf Coast. On Wednesday, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission agreed to extend the executive order imposing a mandatory catch and release rule on redfish and snook until May the 10th. Now, that order has been in place for about a month now from Anna Maria Island all the way down to Naples. It was set to expire next month, but it will now be reviewed by the commission next May. FWC says that action was taken with caution. They weren't taking it lightly.
I certainly hope that the message is catch and release means you can still catch them, and you can. If you go out in those waters, you'll see it's patchy. There's places to still catch fish. We just want to make sure we're returning them back to, back to the water to help with the recovery.
My name is John Bain.
Now, the commission also announced it is immediately ending the scallop season in northwest Florida's Gulf County, where red tide has recently appeared as well. Well, the city of Sarasota is extending its state of emergency for the 6th time now since it was put in place back on August the 15th, again due to red tide. They're going to continue to receive money to help with cleanup and the personnel that do that cleanup. The city says they plan on extending it as long as they need to. Well, red tide seems not to impact our beaches, but our Suncoast traditions as well. The Sarasota Ski Arees were planning to start their new season this Sunday, but the president of the ski team says that could change again because of red tide. The team has to cancel a few practices over the past few weeks because there's been dead fish in Sarasota Bay where they perform. That team will make the call this Saturday on whether or not they'll perform on Sunday. And don't forget, you can find all of our red tide coverage, including answers to some of your most asked questions, online at mysuncoast.com. Just click on red tide. Happening today, Nathan Benderson Park will be hosting the 2018 World Rowing Masters Regatta. It consists of 4.5 days of intense rowing challenges. Those races will be held all weekend through Sunday. Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, a Vietnam veteran in Pennsylvania is trying to raise money for his own funeral. We'll tell you what's behind this bizarre request. It's a good story. You guys stick around for this one. And later in the hour, caught on camera, police are now looking for 2 people who tried to snatch a woman's purse at a Tampa Publix store. But first, let's take a look outside. Pretty quiet morning so far. Look from our ABC 7 tower cam out there this morning. All quiet, but will it stay that way, John Scalzi?
Yeah, you know what? I think it will for most of the day. We'll have plenty of sunshine around, but I have checked the rain box on the drive time forecast because of that trip home. Not much changing today. Those storms will develop in inland areas first and for the most part move from south to north or northwest and gradually get a little bit closer to the coast. But it's really inland where the majority of the rain will fall. So if you're traveling to or from inland locations, there's your best chance of rain. No airport delays being reported by the FAA at any of the hubs serving Sarasota International. Right back with your forecast.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
I am looking for a fair process, a process where I can defend my integrity and clear my name.
Judge Brett Kavanaugh appears before the Senate Judiciary Committee yet again, as well as one of the growing number of women accusing him of sexual misconduct. What can we expect? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll discuss at the Trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
The final 2018 Accord clearance is now during our model year-end clearance sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for new Accords, all on clearance this week at your local Honda dealer.
Watch Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7. Premieres September 8th.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC 7 digital media services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC 7 digital media services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our nation's youth. We believe veterans earn their benefits through their service to our nation. We believe in a strong national security. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion, and we believe it makes a difference. If you believe, learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a temperature of 75 degrees with a dew point value of 74. Pretty close together. And again, it's kind of a warm start to the day, but it's a couple of degrees cooler than it was yesterday, in part because of a lower dew point value, in part because we don't have the cloud cover around that we had yesterday. That mist that was in the air is gone now, and we are looking at fairly clear skies across the region. That'll bring us plenty of sunshine as dawn breaks across the area, and only about a 30% chance of a shower later in the day, mostly in inland areas. That shower will continue on until the evening time, and then as we head into the overnight, everything kind of clears out, and we're left with some pretty quiet conditions, just as we are now. Radar not showing anything in the way of echoes across our region. Again, like yesterday, only a few scattered showers over on the east coast. We'll continue to watch that drier air kind of rotating around that high-pressure ridge, drawing in that slightly drier air at mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. The high-pressure ridge building in and expanding across the Florida Peninsula, producing that sinking air that really is not a favorable thing for developing thunderstorms. So even though we will see a few around, we certainly have seen greater coverage over the course of the past few weeks. This is about the time we start to think about winding down our rainy season anyway, but probably take another couple of weeks before that really starts to kick in. High pressure located just to our north, again, provides us with that easterly wind flow, so the storms that do build will generally be west movers, although there will be more of a northwesterly motion to those storms along our sea breeze front. Frontal boundary located just to the north, stalled out before ever bringing us any colder air. That's not going to happen, probably not for another couple of weeks will we see a frontal boundary work its way through here, but it is producing some showers through parts of the northern Gulf Coast, stretching back into parts of the Carolinas where they really don't need it. High pressure will continue to be our major weather driver right straight through the weekend, providing us with warm temperatures and only slight chances of late day showers and thunderstorms. The tropics are calm, at least in terms of our weather here in Florida. Look at the division of temperatures between the current temperatures of places behind the cold front, 44 in Kansas, 51 in Denver, and places in front of that stalled front, 72 in Atlanta, 77 in New Orleans. That will not move much from what you see right there. Our temperatures running generally 77 degrees in Mayaca City, 77 in Bradenton, 75 in Sarasota, but 78 in Venice, 77 in Inglewood. So kind of a warm start for us. We'll top it out today, probably right around that 90, 91 degree mark before the showers and thunderstorms move in. Forecast looking like this. Beach and boating forecast. South wind turning southwest, turning west in the afternoon with that sea breeze at about 10 knots. And then that west wind this evening at about 5 knots as the sea breeze builds and kind of anchors in during the evening hours before returning to the east. 30% chance of showers today. Tomorrow about a 20% chance. Might not even see any rainfall at all on Saturday, but we'll put in that 20% chance. Starts to go back up again as we head into the beginning of next week, but even so, we kind of stay around the 30 or 40% chance. Nothing up around 70 or 80%. That'll come with our cold fronts in a couple of weeks. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check your first alert traffic. Still pretty quiet out there in Manatee County. Just a couple slowdowns right there on 41, but it's pretty typical for around this time in the morning. Nothing to really keep your eye on. In Sarasota County, those roads are also looking pretty decent. 41 again, just a couple delays heading northbound. And then if you're heading a little bit farther south, both 75 and 41 are still running pretty good at this hour. It is 5:17. That's your first alert traffic. Well, a Vietnam veteran in Pennsylvania is trying to raise money for his own funeral. Reporter Daniel Hamburg explains this strange request.
For several weeks, Willie Davis has been setting up his blue canopy and selling his possessions in a yard sale in Brownstown. Last month, David Dunkelberger was one of his customers.
At the end, when we bought a few things, he said to me, if you know anybody else interested, I'm trying to sell all my stuff to pay for a funeral. And when I said, whose funeral? He said, mine.
That didn't sit well with him, so he went back to the car to tell his friend Ed Sheets.
It broke your heart hearing the story, and we just decided we had to do something to try and help him, try and make his life a little bit easier.
Davis is a Navy veteran who served for 6 years, starting in 1970. He served during the Vietnam War, and now he's battling terminal cancer, stage 4 squamous cell carcinoma.
He's done a lot, serving our country, so we wanted to kind of return the favor to him so that, again, his last days could be a little less hectic, a little more peaceful for him.
Dunkelberger and Sheets started a GoFundMe with a goal of $5,000.
His parents have a burial spot in Culpeper, Virginia, and there's a spot for him, obviously, but with that, it's going to come some financial obstacles.
That's his final wish, a wish that could cost up to $15,000. And even with health issues, being in and out of the hospital, and in hospice care, Davis finds time to set up his yard sale.
He tries to do them every weekend he's able to do them. He just told us yesterday that when he sets it up, he actually sets it up Thursday to run it Friday and Saturdays.
Two strangers who saw a man in need say they're now in a race against time to grant Willie Davis's final wish.
All right, I love that story. About $11,000 so far has actually been raised for him. So good news out there. We'll keep you updated on this one. Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, forget those pesky roads. We finally know when the world's first flying, oh my God, there it goes. First flying car is going to be going on sale, and for how much. We'll tell you when we come back. But first, take a look outside. We got a kangaroo on the loose. We'll explain exactly what is happening. It's another one of our favorite only in Florida stories. We'll tell you where he was spotted. Those stories and more when we come back. But first, let's head real quick to New York. There is the skyline out there. It looks like a beautiful morning there as well. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
What do you get when you cross your tired, aching back with this fragile egg? The Egg Sitter Cushion, an amazing new flex cushion that supports your backside and spine so well you can sit on an egg without breaking it. Incredible!
You want me to sit on this egg? Okay. I can't believe I'm doing this. I don't even feel it. It didn't even break? Oh, I was wondering about that. Now that's a good cushion.
The honeycomb design is constructed of Elasticor that absorbs pressure points by collapsing in on itself. That's why even this egg won't break under direct pressure. Now long days at the office will be more comfortable, dinner more enjoyable, and painful car rides a thing of the past. Get your Egg Sitter Support Cushion for just $39.99. It comes with a free non-slip washable cover and our 10-year comfort guarantee. But wait, call right now and you can get a second cushion. Just pay separate fee. Call now.
Call 1-800-232-1564. That's 1-800-232-1564. Call now or go to eggsitter.com. Order now.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
All right, welcome back. It is 5:23. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast. That is a view from our ABC 7 tower cam. Not a bad morning so far today. All right, looking ahead to Friday, All Faiths Food Bank will be hosting their first ever Autumn Harvest event. It's going to be taking place in their new expanded warehouse on Blakey Court right here in Sarasota. It's going to be taking place from 6:30 until 10 o'clock at night. You can find more about the ticket prices. You can visit this story online at mysuncoast.com. All right, so check this out. A seal and an octopus walk into a bar. Okay, not really. But it might be an even stranger story because a kayaker in New Zealand, hanging out with a bunch of his kayaking friends, got the shock of his life when a seal suddenly pops out of the water with an octopus right here and throws it at the man. I don't even have words for this one, but everybody thought it was funny. And of course, they had one of the most ridiculous stories to tell for that day. I don't even know. All right, well, Facebook, they've announced a new virtual reality headset and why Lyft wants to pay you to stop driving. ABC's Candace Gibson and Stephanie Ramos have the stories in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Facebook has announced a new virtual reality system.
The Oculus Quest headset is a standalone system that can run without a computer or cell phone, and it'll be compatible with other Oculus products. The headset launches next spring for about $400. Lyft is offering to pay people to ditch their cars and use the ride-hailing service instead.
So Lyft says it'll choose about 2,000 people to take part in this month-long deal and will pay them up to $600 in credits. And finally, this is the world's first flying car, and it's about to go on sale in the U.S.
It's called the Transition, and its creator says it can change from driving to flying modes in under a minute, and it can soar at about 100 miles an hour. The price hasn't been determined yet, but sales start next month.
George Jetson's like, oh, that's so 1960s.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Eliquis.
I've always been about what's next. I'm still giving it my best, even though I live with a higher risk of stroke due to AFib, not caused by a heart valve problem. So if there's a better treatment than warfarin, I'm up for that. Eliquis. Eliquis is proven to reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, plus has significantly less major bleeding than warfarin. Eliquis is FDA approved and has both. So what's next? Seeing these guys.
Don't stop taking Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to, as stopping increases your risk of having a stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for any bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
Eliquis, the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner. Ask your doctor if Eliquis is what's next for you.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Caught on camera, police need your help to find these two who tried to snatch a woman's purse at a Tampa public store. And we're going to introduce you to a new law that goes into effect next week that will help protect dogs from abuse. And we're going to tell you how LAX is honoring those who both served our country and entertainer Bob Hope. We have those stories plus John's Thursday forecast straight ahead on this half hour of Good Morning Suncoast. And good morning to you. It is 5:29 on this Thursday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb, also known as Little Friday, which our director loves. Ray Collins is off today. Now let's head over to the man of the hour, John Scalzi.
I don't know about that. It's going to be a hot, humid afternoon, so not much in the way of relieving showers either to kind of break the heat. There'll be a few around, but still, I think rain chance only at about 30% today, if that. We're looking at a few scattered showers over on the other coast. They'll be working their way across the peninsula into our area, hit our sea breeze, and develop into larger storms, mostly in inland areas east of the interstate, but there will be a few that might make it a little bit closer to the coastline. 77 in Perry, 76 in Bradenton, 75 in Sarasota, 77 in Venice, 76 in Mayaca City. The heaviest of the rain yesterday definitely fell in inland areas. That'll probably be the case today with a 30% chance after we hit a daytime high in the lower 90s. Complete forecast in just a second.
Thanks so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check on your first alert traffic one more time. So far in Manatee County, those roads are not looking too bad just yet. A couple slowdowns on 301, but pretty typical for around this time in the morning. In Sarasota County, those roads are also looking pretty decent for the most part. No real slowdowns or anything. And yes, there actually is a University Parkway there. It is just not showing up on our map. It has not disappeared from the earth. It is there, and there's no traffic bumps just yet. And then a little bit farther south, 75 and 41, those roads are also looking pretty decent for the most part. It is 5:31. That is your first alert traffic. Well, caught on camera, police this morning are now looking for two people who tried to snatch a woman's purse at a Tampa Publix. Now watch this. Cameras actually catch the guy right here. Right there you can see him in the white shirt. He's on his phone. Now this woman is leaving the store waiting for the rain to stop. She goes out the door. Now the man runs by, grabs her purse, and then he jumps into a getaway car. And as we're going to see in just a minute, seconds later, the woman actually runs up, catches the car. She reaches inside and is able to see, you can see the car go right there. The woman goes, she snatches her purse back, but not before a few scary seconds of being dragged for a few feet, ending up scraping her knees and hurting her arm in the process. Now, if you know anything about the incident or you can identify this man right here that you see in the video, they want you to contact Tampa PD. Well, it is a big victory for our four-legged friends. Those who abuse animals will now face harsher penalties under a new state law that goes into effect next week. Ponce's Law is named after a 9-month-old Labrador Retriever puppy that was found beaten to death in Volusia County last year. Now, under the new law, a judge will now have the power to bar someone that gets convicted of animal cruelty from owning a pet forever. It also makes it more likely that someone that abuses a pet will go to jail and get a longer sentence. This is a huge victory for animal lovers here in the state.
I'm thrilled. I'm glad. I wish it was stiffer, but I'm glad that they're doing something.
And anything that we can do to keep people from doing that kind of thing to animals who are so defenseless.
Now, Florida lawmakers did pass this measure earlier this year. Ponce's Law will officially go into effect this Monday. And the House approved a massive spending package on Wednesday that funds a huge section of government. Now, that bill is aimed at avoiding a shutdown just weeks before the midterm elections. It was overwhelmingly approved by the Senate just last week. It now heads to President Trump's desk for his signature. Now, while the president has given mixed signals on whether he'll sign that bill due to its lack of money for a border wall, Republicans have expressed some confidence this week that he will indeed sign it. And the supervisor of elections is now urging Sarasota County voters to vote by mail in the general election that's coming up. It'll allow enough time to consider the numerous contests on the 17-inch long two-sided ballot. In addition to dozens of races, the election supervisor says the ballot will contain multiple questions, including 12 proposed amendments to the state constitution, as well as 6 county and 2 municipal charter questions. Now, a request for a vote-by-mail ballot can be submitted online at sarasotavotes.com, or you can also call the number on your screen. Now, the deadline to get one of these ballots has to be mailed in by 5 o'clock on Wednesday, October the 31st. So could there be another high-profile person to leave the Trump administration? Well, rumors of Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein's exit have been swirling for weeks now, but President Trump says he might be staying put. John Lawrence reports.
Rod Rosenstein might not have to start looking for a new job just yet.
We'll be meeting at the White House and we'll be determining what's going on.
Sources said the Deputy Attorney General offered to turn in his notice to Chief of Staff John Kelly last week. This after a report from the New York Times that claimed Rosenstein considered secretly recording the president and invoking the 25th Amendment to oust him from office following the firing of FBI Director James Comey. Rosenstein denies the allegations.
We've had a good talk. He said he never said it. He said he doesn't believe it. He said he has a lot of respect for me. And he was very nice, and we'll see.
Members of both parties say if President Trump gets rid of Rosenstein, there would be serious repercussions. That's because Rosenstein is overseeing Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation.
If the president fires Rod Rosenstein, it is Exhibit B in the obstruction of justice case against him, Exhibit A being the firing of James Comey.
If he did something like that, it would cause a furor that I don't think we need right now.
Some Republicans say they want to see memos from former FBI Director Andrew McCabe, which a Democratic aide says detail Rosenstein's reported comments about ousting the president. In the meantime, Rosenstein can only await his fate. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
All right, well, we are getting closer to the Atlanta Braves having their new stadium finished in Northport. The new $125 million project includes more than 6,000 seats, luxury suites, 8 practice fields, and 750 new parking spaces. Now, that complex is scheduled to open this spring, and the last spring training game will be played in that new stadium. Season tickets are already available for the 2020 season, and tickets for that March 24th game will go on sale later on this year. Happening right now, students at the Sarasota Military Academy are doing their part to help out victims of Hurricane Florence. The charter school is partnering with Paws and Warriors and Camp for Heroes, collecting non-perishable items to be given out to first responders and community members in North Carolina that were affected by the hurricane. Now, those donations will be collected at the high school campus from now until October 4th between 2 and 3:30 in the afternoons, and then at the middle school campus from 4 to 6. Well, Uber makes a $148 million payment in connection to a huge data breach. The company was accused of purposely hiding a hack back in 2016. According to the investigation, thieves stole information from about 57 million people that use it. Now, that breach wasn't revealed for almost a year. That's when Uber finally admitted it paid the hackers to destroy all of that stolen data. According to the New York Attorney General, this is the biggest multi-state data breach settlement in history. Well, it is easy to imagine popular electronics like iPhones or, big targets for thieves. Hit and run thefts at Apple stores are spiking big time in California, and it may actually be part of a larger criminal ring. Teresa Estacio has a story.
KRON 4 News has learned that at least 7 people are in custody in connection with busting a ring associated with Apple thefts here in the Bay Area and other parts of California. This comes on the heels of a high-stakes crime here in Emeryville Tuesday and a case out of Palo Alto where police say in both cases packs of young males raced into Apple stores and took off with iPads and the latest iPhone that runs close to $1,000 each. Thefts at Apple stores are at an all-time high. A North Bay resident shared this video he took as a crime unfolded right in front of him Sunday in Santa Rosa. And later he shared this video exclusively with KRON 4 News showing the arrest of one suspect. A month ago, the Apple store in Corte Madera was hit and images of suspects released. Late Wednesday, Oakland police announced it assisted outside law enforcement by arresting multiple individuals on criminal warrants and that the arrests are in connection with large-scale crimes throughout California. They would neither confirm or deny that the cases were directly involved in the Apple thefts. KRON 4 News has also learned that the California Department of Justice is involved, and more information will be released on Thursday. People going in and out of the Apple store on this Wednesday say that they are relieved to hear about these arrests.
Definitely glad.
Yeah, I mean, it's been scary. It's like you hear the cars breaking through the front or whatever.
Now, those thieves you saw in the videos in Santa Rosa stole about $35,000 worth of products in that case. All right, well, here's one of our favorites. Only in Florida, a kangaroo is missing this morning, and get this, it is on the loose right here in South Florida. The owner works on Jupiter Farms, which is home to 7 kangaroos overall. Now, this little guy was seen running away in Palm Beach County on the loose, and the owner has been searching for Blake the kangaroo since Monday night.
And how did he get loose?
We don't know. He's never even got close to the gate or anything. Either we're guessing something scared him, something spooked him. They had a bad storm that night.
Yes, I feel like knowing how he got loose is a very important question in this case. Well, the owner does have all the proper state permits to own the missing kangaroo and the others that are on that property. All right, still to come, Sarasota County Sheriff's Office plan on reducing deadly traffic accidents in Sarasota County. There's 4 intersections that they plan on focusing on. We're going to tell you which ones that they are. But first, let's take a look outside this morning. All quiet so far in downtown Sarasota. There's a view from our ABC7 tower cam. Now over to John Scalzi.
Yeah, pretty nice shot there. We're looking at some quiet conditions on the Suncoast with a beach forecast that calls for a temperature of about 87 degrees for a daytime high near the coast. West wind coming in with a UV index of about 10. Winds out of the east will switch to the west this afternoon with a sea breeze. And according to Moat Marine, the latest report shows all beaches that are on the list for daily observations are showing low amounts of red tide toxin in the air. Of course, that changes from hour to hour across the region. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with a family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels right. It feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-871-1644. 800-871-1644.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So today we'll start off with a temperature of 75 degrees and a dew point pretty close to it at 74. Relative humidity will come in high again at 96. Not quite as high as it was yesterday when we had all that mist across the region, making it feel kind of humid, really humid actually across the area. It's a little bit better this morning. We have a heat index exactly the same as the air temperature coming in at 75. And over the course of the morning, I think we'll have a lot of sunshine around. Interestingly enough, today we are going to see absolutely equal amounts of darkness and daylight. 7:21 is the sunrise time, 7:21 is the sunset time. And while normally you would associate that with the equinox, we actually see the sun overhead at equal parts of the day and night, giving equal parts of day and night at the equator on the equinox. So it kind of varies from latitude to latitude as we progress through the first couple of days and first couple of weeks of fall. So we look at 7 a.m. temperature of about 76, 87 degrees by 12 noon, under a fair amount of sunshine, building clouds in inland areas first, and a few scattered showers starting around 3 o'clock, about a 30% chance of that. Radar right now quiet. There'll be no rain showers for your morning commute, and drier air continues to be the name of the game under an area of high pressure located out in the Atlantic and kind of nosing in across the peninsula. That draws up some of that drier air from the south and reduces our rain chances just a little bit. We have a frontal boundary kind of bisecting the eastern section of the United States from colder air that's kind of starting to drain in from areas of Canada, and the warm, muggy, humid air, which is going to be solidly fixed over the deep south and the Florida peninsula. That's not going anywhere. So a big ridge of high pressure may slightly reduce our rain chances, but that's not true everywhere. An onshore flow coming up from northern Gulf waters will produce showers all along this stalled frontal boundary and maybe even produce some severe weather in parts of the northeast today. Right along the coastline, anywhere from the Delmarva all the way up to down East Maine, there's the potential for some stronger storms. Not for us, though. For us, we get maybe a few scattered showers building around 3 o'clock in inland areas, and the general trend will be for those showers to kind of be pushed closer to the coast as we head into the evening hours until they finally dissipate. Mostly sunny skies to start, a few late day storms, and the tropics right now are just really calm for all concerned in the state of Florida. We have 2 areas of disturbed weather we continue to watch for potential development. And we had that one area off the Carolina coast that has no chance of tropical development. It continues to be absorbed by a frontal boundary. That tropical disturbance, which was Leslie, may eventually develop with time, but it'll probably just meander out there in the open waters of the Atlantic before dissipating. And Kurt, tropical storm, continues to show 50-mile-an-hour winds, but again, it's kind of lopsided in its development, and as it drifts to the west, it is forecast to eventually just degenerate into a low-pressure area and eventually just be completely absorbed by the atmosphere as it moves into some fairly strong winds in the Caribbean. So it remains far away from the state of Florida and eventually over the weekend probably falling apart. So we're good right now, looking pretty good. Southwest wind at about 5 to 10 over the course of the afternoon, and we'll look for a 30% chance of showers today, 20% tomorrow. I think a lot of sunshine over the weekend and little rain chance, particularly on the first half of the weekend. Temperatures will remain warm, though. Of course, if you don't get the showers, you pay for that with the warmer temperatures. And as we head into next work week, we'll keep the rain chances at about 30 or 40%. Back to you.
Thanks so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check your first alert traffic one more time. All is still pretty quiet. You can see just a little bit of a slowdown right there on 41 in Manatee County. But other than that, it's pretty quiet. Heading a little bit farther south into Sarasota County, we do have one accident to tell you about right there. If we can pull that up real quick. If we can pull that accident up real quick, we'll tell you about it. Looks like right there on 75 northbound, accident at exit 207 on Bee Ridge. We've got that one that we'll keep an eye on for you. And then heading a little bit farther south, 75, 41, those roads are running pretty decent as of this morning. And moving on, speaking of traffic, Sarasota County drivers, as we just saw in that traffic, You top the list, but it is not a good list to be on. The county ranked top in the state for the most deadly traffic accidents. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us live right now at Bee Ridge and Beneva Road with what the sheriff's office now plans to do to cut down on that statistic. Marla, what is the plan?
Well, Stephanie, the plan is to have more law enforcement at intersections like Bee Ridge and Beneva Road. This intersection is just one of 4 intersections in the county that's seen a high number of deadly crashes. In fact, the sheriff's office says Sarasota County is ranked top 25 in the state for the most deadly crashes involving pedestrians and bicyclists. From now until next May, the sheriff's office will focus on 4 intersections in Sarasota County. Sheriff deputies will do so by conducting what they call a high visibility enforcement. This means sheriff deputies will be out more than usual at 4 intersections that's seen more fatal crashes than other areas in the county. Their aim is to help lower the amount of deadly accidents and protecting those who are most vulnerable road users, which are pedestrians and bicyclists. Now, we want to let you know what those intersections are. They include Bee Ridge and Beneva, which is the location I'm at currently, Clark Road from Bronx Avenue to South Tamiami Trail, US 41 from Business US 41 to Jacaranda Boulevard, and Beneva Road and Bay Vista Street. Now, keep in mind, law enforcement will be in full force at those 4 intersections, along with other areas across the county. Drivers are encouraged to use road rules and be careful out on the roads as they go out to work this morning or even head on back home this evening. And throughout the year, they say that they want drivers to be very cautious by using road rules, making sure they buckle up, and also driving not distracted, so not having their cell phones in their hands. And they say they can avoid getting a ticket if they follow those instructions, and they can also help save a lot of lives. Reporting live in Sarasota County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you so much, Marla. Well, service members and their families now have a special place to go at LAX in Los Angeles. Now they have a special place to stop while they're traveling through the airport. The Bob Hope USO Center is now open inside the theme building, that really cool structure that's always stayed outside of LAX. It's housed restaurants over the years. Well, now it is a new building. There's a theater, there's snacks, there's place for service members to take a nap. It's one of 6 Bob Hope USO facilities in Southern California. Hope, of course, was a huge part of USO history. For almost 60 years, he performed in wartime and peacetime in USO shows for troops stationed all over the world. All right, and moving on, let's take a quick look outside. There is your downtown Sarasota. A look outside our ABC 7 studios. When we come back, we've got a roundup of all this morning headlines. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Welcome back. It is 5:55, and here's some of the top stories that we've been following for you this morning. First, the city of Sarasota is extending its state of emergency for the 6th time since it was put in place on August the 15th, all due to red tide. Plus, the new $125 million Atlanta Braves spring training stadium in Northport is one step closer to getting finished. It's now officially set to open this spring, and the last spring training game of the season will be played in the new stadium. And finally, Sarasota County ranks near the top of the state for the most deadly traffic accidents. Now the Sheriff's Office plans on focusing on the 4 most dangerous intersections in the county to cut down on some of those deadly accidents. Well, it is 5:56. You've been watching Good Morning Suncoast. We've got a full hour of news, traffic, and weather straight ahead for you. Good Morning Suncoast will continue right here on ABC 7.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes, B, console her,
don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. It's gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
Through Saturday, RAV4s from $29. VeniceToyota.com.